In the throng of great players to have graced Arsenal Football Club, Nigel Winterburn holds a special place in the hearts of fans. Never the headline act, Winterburn's service spanned 572 games in 13 years and was one of understated excellence. A left-back who combined true grit with an ability to fly forward, Winterburn's time at the club encompassed two of the golden eras of modern Arsenal. But a career in football was never high on the agenda for a young Winterburn growing up in the Midlands.
For me, I just loved playing football, and that was what it was all about for me. But like every young boy, I think you have a dream, but you don't really know what that dream means to be a professional footballer. Not until you've lived that dream and come out the other side. But no, I just lived for playing football. That's all I ever wanted to do.
Picked up by Birmingham in 1981, Winterburn was cast aside after the departure of manager Jim Smith. Whilst training at Oxford, Winterburn was alerted to the interest of Wimbledon and eventually linked up with the infamous Crazy Gang, who began their amazing march through the tears of English football.
It was an amazing story. It's just it was very close-knit, family, almost orientated team. You know, it was absolutely fantastic, but it was almost like we're a pub team, but we were storming up through into the top division, you know, in the English league.
After such success with an overachieving Wimbledon side, it was no surprise when Arsenal contacted him in the summer of 1987.
I just got a call at the end of the season, and there was a Sam Mann who was the owner of Wimbledon at the time. And he said that obviously he'd been approached by Arsenal, they'd accepted a fee for me, and basically that George Graham would be in touch with me, and obviously I needed to go over and talk to him and see if I could discuss and get personal terms with him. Well, that wasn't going to be difficult, was it?
However, when Nigel signed, Arsenal already had a well-established left-back, England international and soon-to-be club legend, Kenny Sansom.
I think when you sign for the club and you start your pre-season, the realisation is then there that actually you've signed for Arsenal, but you've got England's best left-back in Kenny Sansom ahead of you. To start with, I didn't really think about it. I just wanted to join this club.
With Sansom in the way, Winterburn's first strides for the club were made at right-back.
Sort of George first approached me and said, I'm thinking about playing you right back. It was like, yeah, but I only stand on my right foot. He said, no, I'm confident you can do a sort of job and put me in there. And I was very, very nervous, but I had such a desire that I wanted to do well and play for the team that I was quite prepared to play anyway.
Sansom departed in the summer of '88. Winterburn was given the starting job, and Arsenal marched on to seal the title on that memorable Anfield evening, needing to win by 2 clear goals.
A good ball by Dixon, finding Smith. For Thomas, charging through the midfield! Thomas, it's up for grabs now! Thomas! Right at the end!
Completely everybody had written us off, apart from George, because he had so much belief that we would go up there and win that game. It was absolutely amazing. You know, I can even still hear George now at half-time 0-0. You know, don't panic. If we get the first goal, they will panic. You know, they won't know what to do. Will they come out and try and get the equaliser? Will they sit back, try and protect a 1-0 because it would still be enough? And it's really exactly the way it went when Alan Smith scored. And then, you know, we really sort of had a go at Liverpool, and that second goal was just at the right time, wasn't it?
The following campaign, Winterburn was called up for England, but his time with the Three Lions was frustrating. Despite his club record, he only ever made 2 appearances for his country.
I think I'd been talked about as having a chance of getting into several England squads, but never really got in. So to be given the chance to play against Italy as well, it was a fantastic feeling. I was very, very proud to play for England, but there always seemed to be players ahead of me, and you get a feeling that you're never really going to be picked. And towards the end, I never really even looked at the England squads, because I knew deep down that I wasn't going to be picked.
By 1994, Winterburn had collected 2 league winners' medals, a League Cup and an FA Cup, finally snagging glory on the continent that season. The secret to their success throughout that period was down to an amazing team spirit and, of course, the famous back four.
I think what we did is we complemented each other very, very well. And George gave us that understanding of covering each other and working in pairs, and then as in a four, and basically giving us that desire and belief that really it had to hurt if you let in a goal. And I think that's the way that we played the game. You know, I can remember coming off many a game where we'd won 2-3 and we'd let in a late goal and we wouldn't be happy because we had conceded that goal. And that's the mentality that I think that we took forward into every game.
That cup success in '94 was Nigel's last under George Graham, and we'll continue the look at his career in part 2 next week.